Even though when some people go like on streamer mode, like the people they team up with will usually just be there anyways. So
Probably trying to
you can just
understand
kind
what
of
the fuck I'm
recognize who's
talking
who
about.
sometimes.
I get it.
But I didn't recognize that it was you this time.
I'm not talking about anything
Oh,
specifically.
hello. Ooh, good start for us.
This was a good start, just because it's literally the first find in the game. If you find somebody within the first 30 seconds of the game, you're off to a good start. You want to be able to pressure tables as much as possible to prevent weapons from being made. It's one of the monster's objectives. We're gonna go over here because I heard the curse station being worked on, so we're gonna scan and kind of clear the rooms. Don't find anybody, so we'll hunt. Get a little heartbeat, but I get confused. They did get out, but they went. I went the wrong way. Also, fun fact: this is before they changed the fire sigma from underneath the divine holy station.
I was a solo queue, like
No. Push out of the way so we don't get caught in that curse stigma.
oh, I'm coming for them. Nope.
I also get very greedy. I'm a very greedy monster when I play, so. That stigma was 99. That should have been a clear death, but we managed to pull out of the way and find cover. Also, my pathing is very weird. It's not very, I guess I could say, common or valuable. Mind game, go this way. They think we're pushing, so they waste a molly thinking I'm pushing on them. Go back to Holy Station. We hear something. There's no need to hunt. Get closer. See if they try to hide and sink away. We hear the footsteps.
So look at like 90% of the time. Can't get my friends into it enough, sadly. Oh, how could I miss that like that?
I don't want to talk about this, but it was mistakes on both sides. Mainly mine, because that was literally a free hit.
They were here, weren't
But they managed to escape into the molly fire, so they don't take the hit. And then I could have just stayed and waited, but I also want to keep pressure on other tables. Hear footsteps, and I think I get confused.
God, I'm throwing.
Yep. I got confused where those footsteps were heading, so we lost that person. Go back to here.
I'm literally throwing. I'm so stupid right now.
I just make stupid mistakes, let's be honest. Check over here because we're here crafting. We're pushing on the faith. Mind game. We have the enrage, so it's a one-hit value, but I think I die. Get ambushed here. Fun fact, ambushing was a lot more common because there's no danger sense yet. Just FYI. Get cornered by this sword. Creates an opening for the shock spear because I can't howl. And I kind of just take the L here. They played well. They played that really well.
I don't deserve the 400 win for the 400 followers.
I don't.
I am garbage.
I was sweating. Alright, FYI. I was sweating for this game. I wanted to win because it's 400 for 400, you know? It's that streamer mentality. Like, I don't want to eat my own words. Path this way across to kind of cut and get, I don't know, through cover, I guess you could say. Again, weird pathing. I know, I'm sorry. I am weird. Push, ray gun. Lunge for cover. Lunge again, just to finish off the kill.
You are playing at a handicap?
The only reason that lunge even worked was because they hesitated.
I feel like that's just me though.
We hear vending machines. We kind of know where they are, so we kind of, push through the vending machine instead of like wandering around. That's another key thing like a lot of monsters do. they'll they won't push tables. They'll instead go room by room until they find something. But by doing that, you're kind of wasting your own time and you're letting teams get free time to craft, which does not help you in the long run.
Nice shot.
Go for the lunge and kind of just tank the slingshot, take it, and get the hit. I try to mind game thinking they won't drop, but they do. They just slow drop. I absolutely love lunging. Find a hidden Brett waiting to just pick up. Almost get ambushed again. You know, at a certain point, you kind of just understand, or back then you just understand that coordinated enough teens or like teams that understand the gameplay well enough will try to their best to communicate with each other to set up traps, even if they're not queuing together as a squad. So it's a little bit more harder now with danger sense being a thing, but it's still definitely a possibility for it happening. Heard some footsteps down here. I actually heard some crafting. It was like a tiny sound, but it was more than enough to kind of pull me downstairs. Right, it looks like I'm gonna win, but we still need to find the other Brett, who gets actually a pickup on player 1. Which, by the way, we know who player 1 is. They revealed themselves after the game. Also, this is back when Hunt was turned off when you activated Berserk, by the way. See, as you can see in the bottom, it switches. I found this bread because this is a very common it's a very common spot to hide in, around the corner after crafting. But the Hunt basically told us we were near, and then we also heard the curse station being worked on. That's why I pushed towards it. Go for the knock. At this point, like,
Everyone should be.
it's also this mentality where it's like you can push without worrying about ambushes too, because you gotta remember, like almost a minute ago, everybody was knocked except for one player.
Shit.
If everybody's knocked, there is no craft progress happening. You know, no one's gonna have a weapon that fast. Go for another knock. Little wiggle wiggle.
Trying to drift me?
Trying to get me to whiff as much as possible. Nice dance moves, but they don't work on me today. I'm sorry. Check back over here to this curse station. Don't hear anybody. Gonna hunt. See if we can pick up a trace. Nobody nearby, so we can just kind of like go to the next station. We hear crafting from where we're standing. No need to keep the hunt going. Again, old mechanic. We can hunt with Grim on now. Because I am a very heavy Grim user, and Grim didn't allow you to hunt while berserking.
Someone's just like literally bouncing from person to person for pickup.
But they eventually kind of just changed it, and they said, yeah, why not? We'll let you hunt. Faith committing to the craft to see if they could probably pull it off.
Close, but I am sorry, Gator.
Yep. They were probably like 90%.
Pickle. Pickle's just literally going from body to body. Just picking up.
Gonna go check down here again. Someone has a sword. That is a dangerous push, because if they would have fully committed to those, I would have died. They could have had me there 100%. Also, a lot of the gameplay and mind gaming I do is just baiting ammo. And eventually nowadays, a lot of players that know me kind of like pick up on it. And so they go for like really picky situations where they kind of force me to either push into a trap or they don't waste ammo. It's just that thing now. Come over here, ignore the rift for now, see if we can find anybody. Push rift now. Again, not afraid at this moment, even without howling, just because one weapon isn't much of a, how do you say it? It's not much of a intimidation, I guess you could say. We got Riff. We see one team healing. Going after them. They still have their sword. Kind of bait a little bit. I kind of made a mistake here, and so did they, though. I was trying to push out, hoping that they wouldn't swing. But they also kind of panic swing and really didn't, like, crowd controlled me there with the sword. It's what I go for, just people hesitating. It works. It's crazy, I know. Again, weird ass pathing. I do get a little bit of value from it though, because this person was, this is the Brett with the sword just swinging away. I get him to get, you know, isolated. And I made the mistake here of like, I could have just pushed to the right and actually gone right behind him. And I don't know what happens here that I hesitate a little too much. So I lose the Brett. And they kind of just get away. These other two have crosses. We saw that one holding one. And then this one reveals that they have one. So we kind of like, we just want to bait a little bit here.
Use them. Just use them.
It starts lagging here. So I kind of just, you know, ignore it. Not important. Again, I was playing really sweaty. So I was complaining and being annoying about the lag. Push up the stairs. I push up with lunge just because you go up faster. That's it. Lunging up the stairs, you literally just move up the stairs faster. So in case there is somebody waiting around the corner, you're already kind of basically up there. It's just the ball's on their court at the end. If they want to, you know, free fire and catch you right on the spot, or you know, run away.
Sag.
Again, lunge up the stairs. Get the distance. Ruthless 3.
That fix it?
Easy down.
Is the curse over?
You don't know what Ruthless 3 is? It's basically the max tier for Werewolf's perk.
Still lagging.
That basically gives you a faster recovery for missed hits. Come over here to find someone by accident. Swing again. Swing in. Ruthless is my crutch perk. I'll admit that here. Kind of just push the cross. We kind of want to just bait as much ammo as we can. The other thing too is like we're sitting really well right now on 3 Sigmas. Like they only managed to get the shock. And they're not playing that bad. They're keeping their distance, making chases. Last as long as possible to allow their people to craft, maybe reset, and that's honestly really good. That's what teams need to be doing. Howl or Howl, I think it's just something teams players should just always keep in mind. As monster players as well. Each weapon has a different, you know, range amount. It's kind of nice to just remember it and kind of just learn all the different kind of ranges is that's not a fucking word. Mean cursing. Gotta mute this part. Anyways, moving on. Kind of checking around to see if they're healed. They did. I was looking at healing pads for some reason. They're probably buddying up.
Rift during the lag.
At this point, I should have stayed on top to push Riff. But I dropped down because I also didn't want to get cut off around any corners. And I think I'd have maybe pushed in, but judging by how fast they picked up the Riff when I was at the stairs, that could have disabled me and they could have just had an easy kill there. Carefully creeping around. So far there's still only one weapon, maybe 2 weapons by the time we get into the next room. This is a greedy push. I'm a very greedy monster. But at the same time, this person was kind of like a little too hesitant with their cross.
I'm glad the sword got me.
Like they could have had me.
Way less cross on that one.
They could have had me with that cross
scam?
a while back. They had the
Not the
distance,
fishing scams. Oh no.
but they were a little too hesitant. And they kind of like, it didn't cost them, but they did waste a lot of cross there.
Fishing scams.
But they managed to at least distract me long enough for the sword to come up behind and take me out. So good play on them. At this point, I'm kind of just pressuring live tables. By live tables or kill weapon tables, I'm essentially talking about, you know, the weapons that are still left for Stigma. There's no point. Not saying that there's no value. There, you could still find a teen at a stun weapon, of course. But it's still kind of like easier to deal with a stun weapon than it is with a kill weapon. Just because stunning is just stunning you, and if they waste a stun, well, there's no kill weapon on the board. It just kind of goes to waste. Come and check over here. We heard the crafting from a mile away. Pick up on pickle. They have books, so they res the faith that we took out earlier. Remember, they still had fire progression. I get confused here with the footsteps, thinking they did go up. They did a nice job of mind gaming on their part on those stairs. At this point, I also remember where we downed the faith, so we go check back in Master's bedroom with that fire Sigma's at.
Like right here.
See him run across, see their flamethrower ready to go. I say flamethrower, it's a Molotov. They push down the elevator. Push. They had the distance. There was no point in pushing in there with the lunge. Hunt just to see if they stuck around. Gonna go push another weapon station. We know this person has a Molotov, but we know the other person still doesn't have a weapon.
Nice.
Because you have to remember, they were one looking for book, opened the book of the dead box, and then went to res.
Nice. I oink.
It's kind of hard to believe that within the span of doing all those objectives, they also managed to put enough time into crafting. So
Happy Sunday, homie. Let's
lunge
go.
into the mollies kind of just to tank it, because by now it's kind of like
made it.
it's kind of easy to measure,
Made
you
it
know,
the last game.
how long it takes to throw a molly. So
400 victories on
There you go.
Monster. That was actually worth the 400. Holy shit. I thought I was gonna fucking lose. 400 wins.